If you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know that I've had some problems with these live streams kind of starting and stopping. So I took it amongst myself to go out and get a new phone and see if my phone was the problem. So we'll give it a shot. We'll see what's going on. So first off, out of the gate, if you've been watching these for a while, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, leave a comment. Love to hear from you. And as always, if you find an article you think I should read for this, go ahead and send it to me, and we will see what happens. Thanks, Taylor. Yeah, new phone. Let's see if it works. So first off, Target. Target came out and just crushed the quarter, beat top line, bottom line. Stocks up 10%. They did the classic beat and raise. What was really interesting is if you peel back their earnings and look at the numbers, they've done a couple of things. First, they were early to revamp their stores, right? If we would have talked last year, we would have been talking about them kind of investing in the stores, expenses higher than expected, things of that nature. But now they're reaping the rewards and they're just crushing it heading into the fourth quarter, which is the all important quarter for retail. So pretty cool. The other thing that I really thought was interesting is they've been early adopters with shipping from the back of the store. So what is that, right? Historically speaking, retailers, online shopping have shipped from a distribution hub, right? Think massive warehouse with robots moving boxes around. That's what's been done before, which was always interesting because for many folks there's a Target down the street, if you would. So now what they're doing is when customers select same day shipping, their systems are going in and seeing if the local Target has the item requested, and if so, shipping it from nearby. And there's a couple of quotes I thought were interesting. First off, the cost when that happens drops by 40% because now you're shipping an item, a box from 20 miles instead of 200 miles. In addition, the handling, meaning the number of hands that touch said box, goes down 90%. So pretty cool for Target. Frankly, it's one of those duh moments, right? And you fully expect other retailers to pick up on this. Frankly, retailers may in the future look to change their locations and reduce the storefronts, meaning where people walk in, to make sure they have, quote unquote, back of store space so they can continually do same day shipping. It's actually a redesign that I think could be big in the near future, right? You know, I worked in retail, I don't know, 8 or 9 years at Sears back when I was in high school and college. And our, I don't know what you want to call it, warehouse where we kept goods was relatively sparse and small. I would expect that to double, if somebody wanted to ship from nearby. And I just think it makes a lot of sense. Along that front, while Target is crushing it, we do have a bet against mall owners. Carl Icahn, who made his money in oil, decades ago, and is an active investor. I didn't realize he's 89 years old. Good for him. He's made a $400 million bet against mall owners, basically short selling mall debt. Frankly, I'm shocked that more people aren't doing this, right? The mall demise has been called for a long time because of online shopping and the changes in shopping behavior. But there's definitely going to be an evolution in the malls. I don't think malls are dead by any means. I certainly think they have to be revamped. And, I look forward to seeing what happens because human beings are social creatures. And, I know we all like to look at our phone as I'm doing right now. But I think the mall still has a big part of the American economy, and the American kind of, I think most of us still go to them a couple of times a year at least. Maybe not to shop, but to socialize and do those things. So going to be interesting. Lowe's, a day after Home Depot reported, actually beat on earnings, missed on revenue. They're actually closing 34 stores in Canada, which I thought was interesting. And as I kind of proposed yesterday, Home Depot was saying that there was internal challenges. It wasn't the market that caused their miss. Um, you sort of peel apart Lowe's, and as I kind of suspected, Lowe's added 35,000 new pro customers in the quarter, or has 35,000. I think that's the total, not new in the quarter, total pro customers. And I think this is really chewing up what Home Depot had a almost a monopoly on, right? Home Depot invested in the pro desk. They've been doing this for a long time. Lowe's was more of a one and done shop. And I think Lowe's realized that they are missing out. So they now have 35,000 pro customers and growing. And I really think that was the dent that hurt Home Depot. And of course, Home Depot doesn't want to say that because that would be admitting defeat to a competitor. So pretty interesting. Next up, there's the Dubai Air Show. And if you don't know what that is, basically that's the event where, Boeing, Airbus, basically airplane manufacturers go, it's like their Vegas show or whatever it is, and it's where they go to announce big deals. For example, in 2013, they sold a record $192 billion in aircraft. As recent as 2017, they sold $15.1 billion in aircraft on the first day. Yesterday, which was the first day, they announced a measly 2 jets for a total of 600 million. So very disappointing for the air show. It's multi-day, so they may be saving all the orders for the end. Who knows? But you would think they would want to come out and make a splash. I do wonder what it means for the aviation industry if you've seen that precipitous drop in airplane orders. I wonder if there's a bigger story there. Is it loss of confidence because of the Dreamliner Supermax, which would make total sense to me? Is it these countries that were oil rich are less oil rich now, and maybe they're not investing? Is it just the fact that the world is in chaos right now with Brexit, with China, U.S., with Hong Kong, with South America? Maybe it just doesn't make sense to buy a $250 million jet right now. So it's pretty interesting. Then we have a big, some news coming out at 2 o'clock that will be digested by lots of people. A good job and very clear saying no more rate cuts, right? We're not dropping, right? The economy's okay. But that won't stop people from peeling apart the Fed minutes looking for any angle. I've always known rate cuts to be something and if the economy is growing, we should sail through 2020, right? Get this phase one trade deal done and move on. It's going to be, it should be fine. That said, it looks like any trade agreement with China is probably going to get more complex because the Senate passed a bill supporting the Hong Kong protests. I tried to look up what's in it. It's called the Hong Kong Human Rights and figure out what was in it. Like, what's in the, what are we doing? What is it? Why is it? Do we just title it and leave the damn thing blank? I don't get it. So I hope to find it. If anybody out there knows what's in the act, I'd love to read it. You know, make any trade agreement with China harder. They probably look at us going like, stay out of our business. Since '97, when the British turned it over to China. So, I kind of get that, right? I like it, and we should stay. Again, if you know what's going on or you have an article that explains what's in the Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy Act, send it my way. I'd love to read it. I do wonder if we just made a trade deal harder, but that's okay. Harder trade deal is okay if we go out and protect human rights and the like. So, just the cost of doing business. At the end of the day, looks like this new phone held firm for the entire time. So I'm glad I made that investment. And so Target crushed, beating Home Depot on the pro customers. Dubai Air Show flop, Fed minutes at 2 o'clock, and the Senate passed the bill, the Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy.